Resolution 103-13 urges the mayor to initiate an amendment to the fiscal year 2012-2013 operating budget to appropriate $500,000 from the current fund balance to the Hawaii Fire Department's current operating budget. Funds would be used by the fire department to address identified safety needs for the duration of the fiscal year 2012-2013. Introduced by Ms. Willie Waved, FC.
Ms. Willie?
So make a motion to...
Been moved by Ms. Willie, second by Mrs. Ford. Is there any discussion on Resolution 103? Ms. Willie?
Yep. I want to first just clarify that this is urging the mayor to immediately provide the fire department with an additional $500,000. So this would be in the 2012 or 2013 through June of this year budget. The fire department, as we know, in our county, as opposed to many, is not just dealing with fire, but also emergency medical, lifeguards, the whole range of immediate response to crisis and danger. And in particular, the fire department is planning how to fund and provide for lifeguards through the summer months. And I am concerned, based on the testimony that we heard, that we are at risk by not putting them in a position where they really can't be adequately funding and hiring now and doing things at this point in time for the summer. I'm not trying to, this isn't a statement that any of the other departments are not needy and that there are not acute crises. I'm putting this, though, in terms of what department needs to be planning and doing things right now within the next few months before July of this year, not where they're looking at and waiting to hear the outcome of the budget, which could be sometime in June, and then deciding in July who they can hire and how many lifeguards they have, or how much emergency services equipment they have. And just for the public, I want to put this a little bit in context of that we are now in sort of the budget cycle planning for the July 2013-2014 budget. We heard all of the departments come forward. That was in earlier this month, the 8th, 9th, and 10th. Those tapes for anyone are available if you want to get the CDs. They're not going to be televised. But all of the departments came forward, and almost without exception, there was a plea that based on the current budget, without raising taxes, that there's a portion of essential services would not be provided. And this was even perhaps most acute in our three public safety departments, fire, police, and prosecutor, but was also true in the other, I consider, essential needs and long-term needs of environmental management, parks and rec, 80 positions empty, information technology, planning, no money to the CDP. So we need to be looking very carefully at the upcoming budget and how we're doing that and how we're looking at it long-term beyond 2014. But I just want to be clear that what I'm looking at here is just immediate, what is something, we hear you, we hear all of the departments and what's going on, but that in terms of planning, where even a couple months would make a difference in terms of my concern for adequate lifeguards, adequate emergency medical equipment would give the people on those staffs knowing that we are looking and hearing them and addressing their immediate needs. We do have an approximate estimated carryover balance of approximately $30 million. We're not right now in the red. I know that it's important to have some carryover balance going into the next budget, but I want to be clear, I'm not asking to take money where we don't have some money to do it. And again, this is a resolution. It's asking the mayor to initiate and consider this. This isn't our decision as a council. Thank you, and I yield. And
Thank you, Ms. Willie. Is there other discussion? Ms. Ford?
I will be supporting this resolution. It's true that the mayor, this is only urging the mayor. We do not have control of this budget for the current fiscal year. But I hope that the mayor would consider this, and if he can't give $500,000, we'll give some substantial amount of money towards some of these emergency services and where we are in dire need. I would ask the council to support Ms. Willie's resolution, and give us, even if it only gives us 2 or 3 months head start on some of these things. I think we would probably all agree that the fire department is in the worst shape of any of the departments. I think we're down 130 firefighters, and while this is not going to hire 130 firefighters, it will get some of the lifeguards that we desperately need and some of the fire engines and apparatus that we need to have that department function even better than it does. And they're giving their all, and we need to help them do that. So I'll support this. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Ford. Ms. Poindexter?
Yeah, I'm struggling with this because I know that the police department and the prosecutor's office has also talked about their budgets and the needs and public safety as well. And I know that when the fire department and the fire chief was up there, he specifically said, I'm not asking you to go take that money and do it. He specifically said that he understands and wanted it to be fair and didn't want to, penalize any other department that is in need of it too. And we're in the middle of a budget, finalizing the budget, and we're going to fight hard for them. I know I am, for public safety. So this to me is like a premature thing right now, and I'd just like to say to Shirley, who lost, she testified earlier today, who lost 2 children and all, to say to you that this is not saying that we're not supporting the fire department, because we are. I am too. I share Shirley's loss, and I understand that, but I just want her to know that that's not saying that we're not supporting the fire department, because we are. I know that many of us here are definitely looking at how to improve our public safety, which includes the police department and the prosecutor's office. So for me, I talk about fairness and equality across the board, and when it comes to public safety, I think we need to look at all 3. So what I am saying be cautious of is not just picking one and having all of that go to that. So I'm right now not looking at supporting it the way it is right now. I encourage the mayor to definitely take care of our departments of public safety, and I'm sure he will, but it's not just pushing for one department. I think we need to look at the fairness and the equality of it for public safety and what's in the best interest of our island-wide people here on the County of Hawaii. Aloha. Thanks.
Ms. Ford?
Thank you. I think we need to remember that all we're doing is asking the mayor to consider this. We do not control the money on this current fiscal year's budget, operations budget, that is the mayor. All we're asking is that he consider this, and that the council, if we vote for this, that we, the council, would support him doing this. It's ultimately up to the mayor, not us. And this is not about treating any of the public safety departments differently or unfairly. Remember that when we listened to the fire department, we were all, I don't know about the rest of you, I'll only speak for myself, I got completely sickened by the state of the situation. So I think if the mayor can do something at this moment in time, that if the council says we'll support your decision in that, if you make that decision, I think that is a good thing to do. I yield.
Thank you, Ms. Ford. Is there any other discussion, council members? Seeing none, Madam...
No, I do. I just
Oh, I'm sorry.
wanted to make sure I wasn't
Okay.
interrupting someone else.
Okay,
who
Ms.
hadn't
Willie, you
spoken.
can have another...
Okay, I appreciate Ms. Poindexter's point of view, and I think with regard to the 2013-2014 budget, I most certainly am focused on addressing the needs of all of these departments, and not only doing so for that budget cycle, but that we actually plan ahead and have a little bit more foresight and think long-term and what's going beyond. The difference is, when I listen to this, is who needs funds specifically for planning for this summer. And as I read the paper about the number of drownings, whether it's in KAU and the different issues, I do not want to see our beaches without lifeguards because there are not staff there. As the chief of the fire department said, they are so stressed out now and doing so much overtime that it's even beyond that staff are in a position of wanting to of quitting. So it's really, we're dealing with a few months, and it's the acute need for planning for this summer. So I just want to say I do appreciate this isn't meant, whether it's the police department, prosecutor's office, I think we need some urgent planning how to address the summer months where our population is like 8 times what it would be the rest of the year. And I also think that it's important for people, the public, and for the departments to know we hear you, and that we are hearing you, and we're addressing acute needs and next year's needs, and we're going to address the long term. So I ask for this support. We're not doing this. This is just asking the mayor, saying, you know, we do have a carryover budget, and hey, let's get some money in here. You take a look at it and do what needs to be done. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, on Resolution 103-13.
Ms. Ford?
Aye.
Mr. Lagon?
Aye.
Mr. Kanuha?
Aye.
Mr. Kern?
Aye.
Mr. Onishi? Ms. Poindexter? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Kanalua.
Thank you. Ms. Willie?
Aye.
Ms. Yoshimoto?
Aye.
Chair Eo?
Aye.
Ms. Poindexter?
Aye.
Chair Eo, if you have 9 ayes.
Thank you. Resolution 103-13 has been approved. Council members, I'd like to take a short...